Yes, we are recording. Okay, we're all set.
Awesome. So good evening and welcome to everybody, wherever in the world you are. We have a truly international call this evening. We are coming to you from New York, which is where Silvia is right now, but she's actually from Italy. And I'm from England, and I'm actually calling to you from London as well, which is super cool. But I know we have people from Italy on the line as well. So hello, 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 hello. And if you're watching this back, I'm sure wherever in the world you are, very big welcome to you. Thank you for taking the time out to watch this call back, and thank you for joining us live especially. So we're just going to share with you something that me and Silvia and other people on this call that are involved too that might get involved, what it is that we have to share with you. And if someone invited you to this call, I just want you to say and really thank them for inviting you to this call, because you just never know what either side of the coin could do for you. So before I go on to something later when we switch gears, first I'm just going to introduce Silvia to you, who's going to take it away.
Hi, everybody. Hi again. So my name is Silvia. I'm Italian. I'm 30 years old and I live in New York. I've been using Juice Plus and I've been in the business for almost 1 year now. And I will tell you something about myself. So I've been into fitness, into health for really long, because when I was younger, I was anorexic and bulimic for 9 years. So after that, I really felt like I wanted to take my health back. So I really wanted to put health in the first place. I really wanted to make it a priority. So I started working out. I started living an actually healthy life. And it became also a priority to me to inspire other people to do the same. I don't want to see young girls getting skinny in the wrong way. I don't want to see people struggling with their weight, their look, their health anymore, not like I did. So that really became like a mission for me. Last year I was here in New York. I was still trying to live my healthy life, but with moving and all new habits, new kind of work and everything, it was becoming pretty difficult. Also, I don't know who of you is from the US. I would also say the quality of food is pretty different. So even if you're trying to eat the same, actually the result is pretty different. So I talked to this friend of mine in London, and she was taking Juice Plus. Now I was always very skeptical about supplements, about anything that is not real food, but when I found out about Juice Plus, I thought that this really was something different. I was raised in a family really into where everyone is really into health. So I always joke about my grandma, who used to tell me 3 times a day, eat more fruit and vegetables because it prevents diseases. Eat more fruit and vegetables because it prevents cancer. And that was my grandma's mantra. That was a mantra. So, well, grandmas know better. So when I saw I had a chance to actually take 30 kinds of fruit and vegetables in capsules to add to my diet, that just made sense to me. I was just doing what grandma said. So it's just the safest thing you can ever do. And actually, the capsules are really the best thing after fruit and vegetables, because there is nothing else in them. So for me, I really had a busy life because I was working full-time. Actually, full-time is an understatement. I was working 50, 60 hours a day with crazy commute. So sometimes it's just really difficult also to eat everything you know that you should eat. And you kind of have to find a way to bridge that gap. And I thought it was so cool. If my grandma knew about this, oh my God, she would give them to me every single day. And I talked about it to my mom, and she thought the same. So that was also kind of I don't know, sometimes you still need to, double check with the people you trust. And my grandma thought that was great. So I was like, yeah, this just makes sense. So I started taking the capsule. I started taking my shake. The first thing I saw was my skin got so much better. I'm a makeup artist, so my skin is my canvas. I see the difference with the good skin. and I work on my skin every day, so I can really see the difference. And that for me was mind-blowing already. But the huge thing that I didn't expect, because I had read many testimonials about skin, but what I didn't expect is I always suffered with migraines, really, really bad migraines. I used to lose my sight in one eye, and since I started taking Juice Plus, I just got rid of my migraines. So that's my main reason why I will never stop taking Juice Plus. And also, it changed my life on a healthy side, but also it changed my life in a big, like on a bigger picture, let's say, because the business really changed my life for better, how I didn't even expect. So I always say I would talk to everyone about Juice Plus, even if I wasn't paid to do it. I mean, what I think is everyone out there should take Juice Plus. Every grown up, every kid, every grandma, my grandma would, but also when I have kids, I want them to be healthy. And this is such an easy way, and it's such a convenient way. If we only think of how many money we spend every year on medicines that we could really avoid just being more healthy, that's crazy. Also, just the days that you wouldn't waste of school or of work, and having so much more energy, being more productive, this really can change your life for better in such a simple way. So what I think is really everyone out there should take Juice Plus, everyone in the world. And it's just, for me, it's just a blessing to have the opportunity to share this with people. So that it's something that I need to do. I found something that can make my life better, so I really have to talk to people about this. So I started the business about 10 months ago, and it became my life. It's a business that you do while you live, and if you really live the way you like, it becomes all the same thing. So that's really empowering to me, and also knowing that I can help people being better, being healthier. So what about the products? The main product are the capsules. So these magic beans, as I say, that really allows you to take 30 kinds of fruit and vegetables in 30 seconds in the morning. The shakes, these are also great for who works out. I work out a lot, and this is amazing for me. I totally got rid of whey protein, that if any one of you work out, we just think we need whey protein. That's not true. You can have natural protein, vegan protein with low glycemic index carbs that really can help you with muscular recovery. Actually, this product was made for Olympians, for athletes. So if it's good for them, I'm pretty sure it's good for me. And the bars, same thing. Complete bars are amazing, are a lifesaver for me. And here in the US, we also have the Tower Garden, which is a system that allows you to grow your fruit and vegetables at home. I still don't have that, but I'm pretty sure I will get it soon, because I think it's really amazing that you can grow your fruit and vegetables. There are so many studies that show how also organic fruit and vegetables many times are not as natural as we expect them to be. So definitely being able to control what you actually put into your system, into your body, I think it's really such a great tool, such a great opportunity we can use. Also, I know for sure that the fruit and vegetables that I take with the capsules are made with the best production method, have the best certification. So I'm sure that I'm not putting into my system more toxins than what I already have from the environment and from modern life, because we have pros and cons. So I really think it's one simple change that can give you so many benefits. The testimonials around the world are just mind-blowing. So it just, makes sense. So I pass over to Tasha to talk about the business also.
So, ciao from, actually, I'm not in Italy anymore, so I got to stop saying that. Sylvia, can you just check everybody's muted, because I'm getting a bit of background noise, and I just actually need to, my alarm's going off my phone. I don't know why. Okay, I'm good. Okay, so we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to go straight into the business. I'm going to share my story really quickly with you, and then I will go on to kind of like the business side of things. So for me, oh my gosh, where can I begin? For some reason, I've just got really distracted. So I actually, from a product perspective, really, that's the whole reason I started the business in the first place, because I was a skeptic to the core. I did fashion communication at university, and I basically, I was kind of taught for years and years and years, like, not to really believe anything the press say, because PR was a load of rubbish, like just basically a load of lies, and not to kind of believe anything you read on the tin, because it's most of the time it's lies. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I believe? So for me, I started taking the product much to I really didn't want to start taking it. And it kind of got to a point where I had no energy whatsoever. And then my mum turned around to me and was like, look, just try the product, see what happens. So I did. And then within 3.5 weeks, I saw really amazing results with my IBS. So I have irritable bowel syndrome, or I used to. And I started going to the toilet consistently without being a bit gross. So I carried on taking the product. And then after 5.5 months, I realized that I was sleeping through the night again. And some of you are probably sat there going, what's she on about, sleeping through the night again? Like, I sleep through the night every night. I didn't. I slept through, maybe 4 nights a week. I would wake up in pain every morning, every night. I would ache because I have scoliosis. I got told at 16 that I would never run in the future, and I'd never be able to go on a trampoline because it would cause me too much pain. So I basically suffered with that. And, at 21, not sleeping properly throughout the night, like, is that not a bit ridiculous? Does anybody think that's ridiculous? I do. So I started taking the product. They really changed my life. Within 6 months, life was very, very different for me. I was all of a sudden working out, and everyone was a bit like, you're training now, like what's going on, kind of thing. You know what? The whole time Sylvia's been on this call, I haven't had any notifications. And as soon as I start talking, they all come through and they distract me so much. So I'm really sorry if I'm distracted. So I basically became an ambassador for the company, for Juice Plus, because it was just like a no-brainer. Like, I was, like Silvia says, talking about this product like willy-nilly anyway. So I was like constantly running around a bit like a mad hen. I'm actually a model as well. That's my other career, and it's London Fashion Week right now. And I bumped into some of the girls that I met last season, and they were like, I remember you from last time because you just had so much energy. And I actually did the last Fashion Week with no coffee, because I wanted to say to everybody, oh, I did Fashion Week with no coffee. And I was waitressing as well then too. So I had 4 hours of sleep a night, and I was casting all over the shop. And guess what? I still managed to walk the catwalk. So thank you to Juice Plus. But really, so my product story, the product benefits really led me onto the business. And when I describe the business to people, and I think about kind of like what it is about this business that I really love, and also kind of some of the questions that we get about this business, that's really what I want to share with you. So some people people will say to me, okay, well, how is the business structure different from like a normal 9-to-5 job? So the reason and how we are different, so Juice Plus is actually, as a business, 47 years old. It's been around for a really long time. We have the same founder and owner as we did 47 years ago, which is just insane, right? How many businesses do you know where the founders actually stayed? And it actually says a lot about the company, I think. So for me, the truth of how this business is better is we're actually involved with an industry called network marketing. So network marketing is not perfect. I am not going to sit here and spin you a load of lies and tell you that it's perfect. What I am going to tell you is that network marketing is different. And if you are not making money from your smartphone, then you've got to really ask yourself, am I using a smartphone? Because the answer is probably no. And this is why this call is, yes, it's aimed towards people at Generation Y, 35 and under, but you don't have to be 35 and under to do this business. Please don't think that we're saying no one over that age can do it. My mum has found a whole new lease of life since she started this business, and she's not 35. She didn't have me at 15. So like, when you think about it, if like, if you're really, really not part of the generation, like, don't care how old you are, if you are not part of the generation right now that is making money from anywhere in the world, like, if you want to go traveling, if you want to go backpacking around anywhere, like anywhere in the world, then this is the business that actually can allow you to do that, because you could go traveling, take your mobile phone with you, and you could build your business around the world, have an international business, and still be building your business back in the UK. Because as long as you've got a Wi-Fi connection and you've got some goddamn desire in you, then you can do this business wherever you want. Like, that is one of my favorite things about this, because we, especially, I think, the generation Y is so much more kind of like obsessed than any other generation I think ever has been before with travel, seeing the world. It's so accessible. Like, I've just been living in Milan for the last 6 weeks. It cost me 15 euros to book a flight home. Like, what? This is crazy. You can get to another country much cheaper than you can get to like Manchester nowadays. It's just crazy. So for me, like, I love the fact that this business is part of, network marketing. Is really, you can do this from anywhere in the world. You are your own boss. You get to work your own hours. You decide how much you want to earn. It's all down to you. All of it is down to you. But the best thing is, so you're an entrepreneur and you have all these entrepreneurial benefits, but a lot of things that entrepreneurs don't have is they don't have a team network support. They are pretty much on their own most of the time. And when you're an entrepreneur and when you start doing something that you want to do yourself, there's a lot of people in your life that will turn around and be like a lot. Okay, trust me, it happened to me when I started modeling. I had all these little crickets that came out of the woodwork that all of a sudden wanted to be my best friend again because I was suddenly a model. I'm like, oh my god, please, so what I'm trying to say is that with this team and with this business and with this industry, not only do you get to have all the benefits of being an entrepreneur, so it's better, number one, than the 9 to 5 thing. Number two is you get to pick your team. So if you don't like the person that wants to join your team, then guess what? Ta-da! They don't have to be in your team. You have the power to do that. But also the power lies, in my opinion, more than anything, in the fact that when you're having a hard day, you have these people around you and this team around you that just want to build you up and support you and make sure that you're okay. And I say to my team the whole time, friendship first, business second. But I'm so grateful for this business because I got introduced to them, right? Does that make sense? So for me, that's kind of like, I just wanted to explain a bit really about network marketing and how it works. But another question I get is, well, actually, I'm going to just show my little diagrams for you. So this is how normal world works. So you have a CEO at the top and all these little marks on the bottom are representative of like people that work in a store. So if we think of a store like the Co-op, you have people that work on the bottom. You have people that work at the Co-op, and if they're really, really lucky, maybe they'll work really hard for like 5 to 10 years, and maybe they get to be a store manager or, area manager, like if they work really hard. So, but, the chances of someone else from another store coming in because they've done that job for longer or they've done that job before, they're more qualified, or maybe they've just been sleeping with the manager, let's be honest, then they might get that position before you. And that might mean that you're stuck in your job again and you're just getting paid your £7 an hour. If you're lucky, you're £7 an hour and that's it. You just have to live in London, very expensive. The whole of England is, but especially London. So the chances, and not only that, but there's only one CEO. There's only one CEO. There's only one person in the whole of the Co-op that's earning that much money every single year. Like, that's just really, like, really, is that really the way that our world is going? Is that really the way that things are going to change? No is the answer. You look at how many millionaire teenage kids we have now, and why is that? You've got to ask yourself. It's because they used their little brains and the fact that they loved going on the internet so much and made the connection, thought, I'm going to make money that way. So with this company, with Juice Plus, we all get to start from the bottom and we all work our way to the top. So you can be a CEO of your own company, but the best thing is you get to have the company support from Juice Plus that will support you, because you don't have to hold any of your own stock. It's all mail order. You don't deal with any payments. You don't deal with any returns. The company do all of that for you. It's £50 to start your business, $50 or 50 euros, like 50. That's just crazy, like crazy. I could spend, like, this choker that I'm wearing is worth double that. Like, this choker is worth like £100. Like, really? Do you see what I'm saying? So £50 to start a business that could earn you thousands and thousands and thousands. Like, I let you make that decision. So another question that I get asked quite a lot in this business is, oh, but isn't it one of those pyramid things? Okay, first thing, before we clear anything up, most of you on this call right now that I can see, I'm not going to flick through, but most of you on this call right now are under the age of 30, you know, which means you're part of Generation Y, which also means that you've never been affected by pyramid scheme selling. Never. So number one, like, why do you give a shit? Excuse my French, but why? Because you've never had a bad experience with it. I know you haven't, because it's not been evolved around in our lifetime. Number two is, okay, maybe someone in your life has had a negative experience, but guess what? I've been to the hairdresser before and I've had a negative experience. My best friend might go to the same hairdresser and she might have a really positive experience. Do you listen to every single person on the street when someone, like, half the people on the street will say McDonald's is good and half the people on the street say McDonald's is bad? Like, do you listen to every single person? No, because if you did, you'd be in turmoil all the time. So the thing is with, you know, pyramid scheme selling is, number one, like, I'm just going to give you some facts right up front in case anybody in your life does turn around to you and go, oh, but it's one of those pyramid scheme sellings. Okay, number one, I'm a model. I'm an international side model. I'm in Milan, New York, LA, and London. Number one, would I really associate myself with something that was made illegal 40 years ago? The answer is no, because what would that do for my reputation? Like, you really think I'd be able to walk the catwalk if I worked with something illegal? Like, no. So that's just the first thing, okay? The second thing is, like, it was made illegal, but also that they used to hold lots of stock. With Juice Plus, you don't hold any stock. The only stock you have in your house, the stock that Silvia held up, was her own product. Like, I'm not going to say anything else about pyramid scheme selling because, quite frankly, I don't need to. If you really want to hear the spiel on what pyramid scheme selling is, connect with me separately and we can figure that out. But I ain't wasting my time with that. Like, you're all so young, you don't need to, like, don't worry about that crap. So, I'm sorry, someone's ringing me. Don't ring me now, please. I'm on a call. So the next question I get is, what if I don't know anybody? Like, I don't know anyone. Okay, number one, go and check your Facebook friend list and tell me how many friends you got on there. I have, I think, it's quite crazy, but 4,000 friends on Facebook now. And then I have, like, I don't know, 2,500 followers on Instagram. So technically I have 6,500 people that I could reach. Like, that's just my 2 social media platforms. Never mind my phone book, which has probably got like 500 names in it. So when I started my business, the first thing I did was I made a list of people that I wanted to help. So when you think about, oh, I don't know anybody, like, you have social media at your fingertips. Your fingertips. If you live in a tiny little village and you've got no one around you, there is no excuse. Your success does not depend on your zip code, your postcode, if you're in the UK. I heard this last week from my mentor and I absolutely bloody love it. So please write that down, whether you're in the business or not. Like, write that down. Your success does not depend on your postcode or your zip code, because it doesn't. Like, seriously, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a millionaire, and you live in the African jungle or the Amazon rainforest, do you think those entrepreneur kids are letting the fact that, you know, they don't live like in a brick wall house like me, do you think they let that bother them? No. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. So with social media, and, you know, my business pretty much is 90% reliable on social media. And, like, what if I don't know anyone? I'm just going to show you my team really quickly. I should have written this down before. My bad. I'm just going to show you my team really quickly so you can understand where I'm at. So I'm going to talk you through it and then I'm going to show you. So we have my mum, who then introduced me to the business. And then I have Rebecca, who's also on the line. And I met Rebecca through a fitness group on Facebook because I just wanted to find out how her program was, and Rebecca got back to me. Then I met Jessie, who is actually an actress as well, and I met her through a modeling group because I have a vision that I want to help other models and other people in the creative industry be able to financially support themselves, but also be able to, you know, physically and health-wise feel the best and look the best that they ever have in their life too. Then I met Monica through an entrepreneurship group on Facebook. And then I met Agnes on a photo shoot, who did these amazing acrylic 3D nails on me. Then I have met Ines, who used to be my student. I used to be a teacher at uni, and Ines introduced me to a girl called Vicky. So Ines might now be going through some challenges, but Vicky still introduced me. So can you just see how that works? Like, I have people in my team that I haven't even met. I haven't even met Rebecca. I haven't even met her. And we're really good friends, and we talk on the phone, and we do coaching calls, and it doesn't matter, because when you have social media at your fingertips, and you have like literally the internet, the whole world at your fingertips, don't be daft and not use it. Like, come on, seriously, use that little brain that you got and get off your ass and go and just talk to people, because you never know whose life you could change. You just never know. Like, I know for a fact there's girls on my team that were going through some really crappy times when they started this, before they started this business, and I just so happened to be connected with them at the right time, and I know that this business has helped them get to a better place and become more confident and be happy within themselves. And I'm so glad. Every day I wake up and I think, thank God I said yes. Like, I'm so glad I said yes, because if I didn't say yes, I wouldn't have helped her, wouldn't have helped him, I wouldn't have helped that person. And seeing the change in yourself is amazing in the product. Like, number one, quite frankly, the product speaks for itself. You could hear a million testimonials, but until you try it yourself, you ain't ever going to know or feel that love and connection that we have about the product. So number one, try the product, figure out. And if the product doesn't work for you, which is never going to happen, it's fruit and vegetables, like, seriously. So if the product doesn't work for you, then like, okay, we'll talk about that. But because it's going to work for you, then, you know, you can't, how can you ever expect to really understand how I feel now? Like, you can, you know, you can say what you want, like, whoever you are in the world, you can say whatever you want, but you can never take away from any single person how they feel. You know, like, it's the same as like when you love someone or anything like that. Like, you can't ever take away from someone how they feel about you. And it's the same principle. You can't take away from me how Juice Plus has made me feel and how it's changed my life, because only I know in myself how I feel, right? And with this business, you can't take away from me how this business makes me feel. I feel so grateful every day that I get introduced to incredible people. I have sideline support all over the world, people that I've been introduced to like nonstop. And now I mean, I've only met like Silvia and like Mo's on the line. I've only met these people, like, I don't know, Mo I spent quite a few days with, which was great. But like, you know, Silvia I met once in New York, and it's just banging. I get to hang around with people that are uplifting, they are motivational, they inspire me, and they make me a better person. Silvia messaged me just before this call and said, just signed up my second person of the day. And I'm like, oh my God, this girl's on fire. I got to get my ass moving, because it's like healthy competition, you know? It's like in the normal corporate world, if somebody else was like, oh, I got like £1,000 worth of sales today, you'd be like, she's going to get paid more than me. But in this business, if someone's like, I signed up 2 people today, I'm like, great, I'm going to go beat you to it, and I'm going to go sign up 4 tomorrow. Like, and you just get to inspire and empower and push each other. And it's not about like what they can do. Like, don't compare your stuff. Comparison is the thief of joy. And as I really finish up this call, I really want to link it to, you know, my other industry, which is obviously like, you know, I'm a model, and I'm very, very honored and grateful for the life that I have. And I, you know, I was scouted. Maybe I would never have done modeling if I'd not been scouted. So it's quite bizarre to think now that I've been on the catwalk and I do boohoo, and it's a bit weird, and I still pinch myself every day. But you know what I love more than anything? And like today I had a fitting at Paul Smith, which was awesome. But I was speaking to the woman, I had such a good time with her, and she said to me, you know, we were getting to know each other and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, wow, she's like, you're really inspirational. And I was like, really? I was like, how so? And she said, because so many people like just, you know, they're just a model, or they're just this, or they're just that, but this isn't even about you. She's like, this is about everyone else that you can help. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course it is. And what I'm trying to say to you is, I have such a strong vision. The industry that I'm involved in is wrecked, quite frankly, to you, quite frankly, with you. And most industries in the world out there have their flaws. What I really want to say to you is, every industry may have their flaw, but with this, and you know, you might find a flaw in this industry, but at least in this industry, when you find a flaw, you also find, you know, a million other different people. A million is exaggerating, but you do. But I mean, you might find that you connect with, let's say, 10 other really amazing people that really inspire you, that make you look at the world in a different way and in a better way, and make you understand and be grateful and appreciative for everything that you have in your life, you know? So I think for me, my vision more than anything else, and I really encourage you to, if whatever you've learned from this call, and if you've enjoyed it or in any way, just write down your goals in your life, like whatever they are in your life, because quite frankly, most people never write down a goal in their life. And what happens when you don't write down a goal is you get to the age of 40 and you're like, oh, what did I actually do with my life? So write down your goal, get your vision strong, figure out what it is that you want, what it is in your life that you really want to change. Whose life do you want to change? Or is it just your own life? And there's nothing wrong with being selfish, FYI. There's nothing wrong with wanting money. Remember, money is just an exchange of, it used to be just an exchange of ideas, you know, it's now changed into this thing and we think money's evil. Like, money is not evil. Like, you can't live without money. Like, come on. So for me, what I really want to ask you, and this is something that my friend Mo, who's on the line, actually, I hear her say this all the time, and now I want to say it all the time, is if not this, then what? What in your life is going to change? If not this, then what? I have a dream that I'm going to be a supermodel. I'm going to be an international sign model all over the world, and I'm going to be a famous, huge TV star. You know why? Because the platform that I'm going to have and the people that I'm going to inspire and the amount of girls that are going to be following me when I've got millions of Instagram followers, and I can say to these girls, like, it's okay to have a bad day and eat bad food. Like, you want to know how much I can't wait to do that. So that's one thing. If not this, then what? Because modeling, quite frankly, can't support you forever in terms of like the money is so inconsistent, and I get paid once every 3 months right now. It's ridiculous. How can I live in London off that money? You tell me. So at least with this business, I get to financially support myself every single month. And the second thing is if not now, then when? Do not wait for someone else to change your life. I want my life to change tomorrow. I want it to change today. I wanted it to change yesterday, right? But if I sit around and I wait for my agency in London to get me jobs, they're amazing and I love them. But if I sit around and wait for them, like, really? Instead, I could just work for half an hour a day on my business, which is basically on my phone, so on the way to castings, and then I could make some money. Oh, okay, I think I could do that. Do you think you could talk to people for half an hour a day? Because you only get paid for talking to people. So 2 questions that I want you to think about with everything in life, not just this business and not just this product. You know, if this product isn't for you, then think about who it is that you could help. Think about who it is in your life that could do with just an extra £200, an extra $200 a month. Because I promise you, there's someone in your life right now that needs this business, and there's someone in your life right now that needs this product. So don't be selfish. Think about it. Think about who you could help. You never know whose life you could change. And please, 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 whoever invited you to this call, get back to them and tell them what you loved about the call. If you found me really annoying, then tell them you found me annoying and that you preferred Silvia, and next time we'll swap. No, I'm kidding. But thank you so much for all joining the call. We're going to have this posted on YouTube, and we'll make sure that everyone on the call gets a copy. So other than that, we see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. PST, and 4 p.m. EST.
You got it.
It took me ages to get the time zones right yesterday. Poor Silvia.
Last night at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I was doing our poster at 2 a.m. and I was like, I think I did it. And she said, you're wrong. I was like, oh. So thank you so much all for joining, and really, 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 really big happy Wednesday to you all.
Thank
happy
you,
Hump
guys.
Day.
Bye.